Hello, my name is Amy Heim, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the ways that cities across Canada are promoting green infrastructure. So first of all, a little bit of background. Cities are interested in green infrastructure because urbanization has a number of negative side effects. For example, cities consume 75% of the global primary energy. Cities emit 50 to 60% of the world's greenhouse gases. And urbanization is also associated with increases in stormwater runoff. Of course, that can be a bad thing because it can lead to pollutants growing into our local bodies of water. Cities can be associated with a phenomenon known as the heat island effect. This is where urban centers are noticeably warmer than neighboring green space. And then cities can also be associated with air pollution as well as biodiversity loss. So right now, cities across Canada are developing plans to help reduce their ecological footprint. And one of the ways they're doing this is through the use of green infrastructure. So my definition of green infrastructure for this presentation is really just going to be infrastructure that reduces the ecological footprint, because that's a nice, quick, and easy way to define it for this presentation. So first of all, cities are using urban greening, such as city parks, green streets, as well as addition to buildings like green roofs. Cities are relying on renewable energy, such as solar power or wind power. They're really using energy efficiency as well, so increased insulation in the building, as well as more efficient appliances they're encouraging. Cities are encouraging waste reduction through reducing, reusing, and recycling waste in the cities. Cities are also looking to improve their public transit system through buses, trains, and subways. And there's also been more encouragement in the use of and creation of bike lanes as well as pedestrian walkways. So it's all good and well to say you want to have green infrastructure, but you also need to get the city involved in promoting it. So there's a number of different ways in which cities are promoting green infrastructure and trying to get the citizens interested in using it. One of the ways they're doing this is through community participation. So you can do this by partnering with different NGOs, which then can create events that will host community events, encourage planting, that sort of a thing. It can also be a way to get feedback from the community to see what exactly the community is interested in terms of green infrastructure and reducing their own ecological footprint. Cities also have offered tax incentives. So we have the stormwater runoff tax. That's one way to try to get people to try to reduce the amount of impervious surfaces in their buildings. Cities offer rebates for different subjects. So for example, you can have insulation. If you improve the insulation in your building in Vancouver, you might be offered a rebate. There are also laws and regulations that cities can use to encourage green infrastructure. So Toronto has the Green Roof Bylaw, which they use to, if your building's over a certain size, then they require you to build a green roof. Cities are also investing in the city itself, so adding more bike lanes to the city, planting more trees. And then finally, there are educational events that the cities are promoting so that the populace knows basically what they can do to reduce their own ecological footprint. So I don't have time to go over all the individual city plans for each city. I've chosen Vancouver because they released past year a update to their own city greening plan. Their goal and the purpose of their plan was to make Vancouver the greenest city in the world by 2020. I don't have time to go over all the different aspects of the plan, but basically they had 10 points that they were trying to really target in their plan to make their city more sustainable. I just want to go over some of the achievements that they made through their plan and through the encouragement of green infrastructure. So the city of Vancouver was able to reduce 20% decrease in greenhouse gases from buildings since 2007. They found a 27% decrease in vehicle kilometers driven per person since 2007. They had a 50% of trips made by bike, walking, or transit. There was a 15% decrease in community greenhouse gases since 2007. There's a 23% decrease in solid waste sent to landfills since 2008. A 38% increase in neighborhood food assets since 2010. And there was nearly 49,000 new trees planted since 2010. So some pretty good news from Vancouver. So thank you very much. And here is Dr. Andrew's mail. Sorry.